All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another quick video. Okay, y'all, just back with my quick review, quick thoughts on TUF episode 3, TUF 30 episode 3. This was leading up to the Muhammad Usman fight and Mitchell Sipe fight. This was the heavyweight fight, of course. So my thoughts on this episode real quick. I thought this was another interesting episode, and this is one of those reasons why I like the backstories on fighters, and you kind of get to hear the struggles they go through, because sometimes the fights aren't as interesting as the actual, life of the fighter. That's why I kind of, like I said, I kind of like to get a chance to just sit back and watch these backstories, because why a person fights can be interesting in the actual fight sometimes. We kind of delved into Muhammad Usman, what he's been through, Mitchell Sipe, their history together. But before I talk about that, they did talk a little bit about one of the flyweights. They put the spotlight on one of the flyweights you all know that I favor, Chantel Coates. And Chantel Coates, she looks to be having a little bit of trouble making weight. Right now, I think she's walking around in the house at around 150, 155. She's kind of in that range. And, she's really been trying to work her diet. She's really trying to focus on her diet, extra cardio, trying to get it down. But, she's kind of been walking around with a little bit of that stress on her mind. So, Chantel Coates, she had a little talk with Muhammad Usman, who's on her team. And like he said, you just got to stay motivated. You just can't keep on thinking about it and thinking about the worst. You just got to keep pushing. Like he says, one of the reasons he fights is because, he does it for the passing of his son. He lost his son back in 2019, still young, still a baby. But, something that keeps him going in life is just to keep fighting, and I got to respect that, because losing somebody like that, never lost to anybody like that. But I could just understand that it's probably really tough for him to move on with his life, especially losing his son. So, to continue to fight and try to stay focused, that's hard, so I feel him on that, because she even also said that, Chantel Coates had suffered from different things, of course, after pregnancy, having to lose weight, having a miscarriage. She also had the 19 as well, so just a lot's been going on, in her life, and she feels like some of that contributes to that weight. So, she's been working at it. But like he said, he gave her some pretty good advice to stay on it and, just keep on working, stay on the diet, and just stay disciplined, right? So hopefully, that'll help her out. On the other side, you had Mitchell Sipe. He continues to hound Usman. He keeps on talking about Usman's a bum. Usman ducked him in the past. Usman said he had no record of this as far as just ducking him as a fighter. He was just fighting, right? But for some reason, it just stayed on his mind. He's just going to use that in the house now that they're there. Mitchell, he comes from a background, of course, I know boxing. He's used to wrestle in high school. Then he went into boxing, kickboxing. He trains out of Bones Adams Gym. That's a boxer I'm familiar with. He's been training there. He's been working on his game with different, just with different trainers. And, he just got into the fight game at an early age. I think he's like 25, about 7 years younger than Usman. So, interesting backstory with him too, just transitioning from wrestling into the world of boxing and, kickboxing. And then, just putting all these different sports that he's learned into one, and then wanting to become a fighter, because he said, it comes kind of from his ancestors' background, like his father, his grandfather, and so on, right? So, yeah, man. But in the house, there was some interesting, exchanges between the two, between him and Muhammad Usman, both in there, I think getting their hair cut. And, he just continued to call him out, call Usman out, call him a bum, this and that. Usman just came back with his words, and he didn't really seem like he was letting it bother him. It was more like, I just can't wait to get to fight night, right? So fight night happens. Like I said, all of that would seem like the more interesting part of this show. Chantel Coates dealing with what she's dealing with, and Usman and Mitchell, just their backstories interesting, because the actual fight wasn't very entertaining. Usman, he was able to get the victory in the sudden death round. He ran 2 rounds to 1. First round, it was kind of a cautious round, both showing each other a lot of respect. A few good hard left hands landed from both fighters. Sipe, he did drop Usman once in the first round, and Usman came back and dropped him, right? But I think that Sipe, he won the first round. He did a little bit more with his striking. Second round, I gave the Muhammad Usman. I think he found more of a rhythm with his timing, so he tied it up. Third round, he came in, landing the harder shots, good left hooks and left hands, really started doing damage to Sipe's face. And, just overall landed more effective blows. But overall, it wasn't really like an entertaining fight. So I was a little let down on that because there was just a lot of talk between these two, but they didn't really, go in there and go at it like that energy was saying, right? Well, for one, for Sipe, because he's the one that was doing all the talking and calling him a bum. Muhammad was kind of reacting off of it, right? So Muhammad Usman, he was the one that just kind of was playing the cautious fight, just trying to pick his shots, which he did. He did more damage when it came down to it. So, yeah, he won the fight. Overall, like I said, both of the heavyweight fights haven't really delivered like you think they would. Like there wasn't no real smacking knockout blows in there yet. But I guess everybody's just trying to play that cautious game, but they're going to need to turn it up because Dana, he's watching. Like, you can see Dana watching and, kind of looking with this look of disappointment on his face because, he wants to see finishes. He wants to see somebody go in there and get a finish. Like, even if he don't see fight of the night or, like, two guys going at it, he wants to see one guy dominate the other, like, for sure. Like, the last fight was okay, too, but he doesn't want caution, right? So, yeah. My thoughts on the episode, decent episode, just for the backstory and everything. Going into next week's episode, we got Nunes putting Chantel Coates in there with, what is her name? Brogan Sanchez. Yeah. First time Nunes called on Chantel Coates just like that. Not to pick her, but she wanted to put her in there with Brogan Sanchez next. And it looks like Brogan Sanchez suffers a knee injury. It looks like in the premiere. Or in the, they were doing the little trailer for the next episode. I think she suffered a knee injury. So we'll see what happens there. Chantel Coates, y'all know, I think like a few days away from the fight, she still got to lose like 20-something pounds. So I don't know what's going to happen. Pena, she's a little bit worried. She's kind of concerned because, once again, even in this fight, Usman Sipe, Pena was screaming her head off, vein popping through her neck again. She's really, really into these fights. So, I really respect how she treats her team. She really wants them to win. Like, the minute they're in a situation where it's favoring them, she's like screaming her head off. So that's always fun to watch. So yeah, guys, definitely check it out if you haven't checked out the show. I think it is an entertaining show for me. Like I said, I just love to see the personal stories. It ain't always got to be ignorant drama going on. I just like to see why these fighters fight. So go ahead and catch up on 1, 2, and 3. Combo Breaker 99. If you watched it, let me know what you think. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.